The wolf pack was gathered across the mountains, and right above them hung a full red moon, glowing ominously. The number of wolves was overwhelming, covering the entire ridge. Standing before them was Fang Ye, his gaze locked on the massive wolf standing high upon the rocks. Looking at the beast, he muttered, "Is this the Wolf King?" Just by seeing it, he could tell the evolution of this Wolf King was almost complete. All of them were glaring at Fang Ye, growling fiercely. The intense growl made him slightly startled. Fang Ye thought to himself, could this spiritual energy be about to become a level anomaly? Then the other wolves surrounding him began to close in from all directions. Watching them carefully, he thought seriously, after the evolution, the Wolf King's anomaly has advanced from a forest animal's wood attribute to a poison attribute carrying intense corrosive power. The poison attribute must have evolved after it absorbed dark energy. It seems dark energy is the cause of these mutations. Attribute activity has been increasing lately. No wonder the Wolf King suddenly developed dual attributes. Still, its power is only at the level of an A-class anomaly. Immediately he took the flower from its pot and planted it into the ground again, saying, "Now you finish them all." He continued thinking, even though it's only an A-level anomaly, the real trouble lies in the sheer number of wolves. Moreover, the city lies just beneath this mountain. If they enter the urban area, the disaster will be immense. As soon as the plant touched the ground, a powerful surge of energy began radiating from it. Seeing this, the Wolf King roared violently. The moment it did, all the wolves launched their attack together. Fang Ye smirked and said, "Then let's start. I want to see how powerful your desolation energy can be when used alone without any other abilities." Sensing this energy, some people patrolling the mountains turned their attention. Their attention was drawn toward it. One of them, with a serious expression, said, "The Wolf King's evolution was successful. Its strength is immense. What's the pollution level now?" Another individual standing with him, observing the abnormal energy, replied, "It has reached 90. Hearing this, the hunters were shocked. "In a day? Really?" The researcher in the group then added, "Not just that, it's still increasing. The wood attribute Wolf King strength is at least at the Ghost Axe realm 3 stars. No, maybe even Spirit Creation realm 1 star. How can it be that strong?" The rest of the wolves range between Ghost Axe realm 2 and 3 stars. Another voice chimed in. As soon as one of the hunters heard this, he exclaimed in disbelief, "At this rate, we don't have enough people. We can't win this. Even you just broke through to Ghost Axe realm 3 stars, right?" They could clearly sense the wood attribute. But then suddenly, as the intensity of the contamination becomes more apparent, the gravity of the situation dawns on them, suggesting a terrifying event is in progress. A researcher, his face etched with dawning comprehension, voices a breakthrough. "I understand now," he declares. "The reason the pollution level is so high is because the Wolf King has evolved with dual attributes. This occurrence is extremely rare among anomalies." His revelation is cut short as he glances at his monitoring device again. The reading, which previously stood at 90, has now escalated to 100. The researcher's eyes widening in shock at the alarming increase. "But even if we can't defeat them, we must stop them," he shouts, a sense of urgency in his voice. "If this pack of beasts completes their evolution, the entire area below the mountain will be destroyed. Their violent nature, empowered." While the specific names of the research team members are not explicitly mentioned in this scene, the main protagonist of the series is Fang Ye. He, along with other key characters such as Su King and Jielin, often confronts these anomalies and deals with the consequences of dark energy. It is highly probable that this research team is a supporting element in a chapter focused on Fang Ye's ongoing battles against such mutated beasts. Spiritual evolution will make them even more terrifying. I'll immediately contact the Spirit Association and request reinforcements. While he was speaking, the ground beneath them suddenly began to shake. The other team members looked around in confusion. "Wait, do you feel the hillside shaking? An earthquake? How could the evolution of wolves cause an earthquake?" "No, something else is happening." At that moment, their meters, which had previously shown a reading of 100, suddenly displayed 1000. Seeing this, everyone's faces went pale with fear. What kind of power is this? This is the power of destruction. But how could the power of destruction appear here? Panic spread among them as they began running. "Run, get to the safe zone as fast as possible," someone shouted. Another cried out, "Is it the sky ghost vine that disappeared earlier?" But there was no warning. The research team and the others sprinted down the mountainside at full speed, shouting to each other in panic. The lead researcher yelled, "Quick, evacuate all nearby residents immediately. Then, one of them suddenly stopped and shouted, "Captain, wait, the desolation energy isn't showing up anymore." But what is that thing? When they looked ahead, they saw massive vines emerging from the ground. Staring at them, the captain said, "The desolation energy has sunk deep into the mountain itself." Another member replied, still confused, "Yeah, strange. It feels like the danger suddenly disappeared. Should we still report this?" And on the other side, in the battlefield where Fang Ye now stood face to face with the Wolf King, the once barren land had transformed into a vast field of blooming flowers. The Wolf King stood directly before him, glaring with fury, raising its claw high to strike. Watching this, Fang Ye calmly said, "These spiritual flowers will continue to grow and multiply endlessly until they've drained every last drop of your energy. You still have your spiritual energy to protect yourself, but what about the others?" The moment his flower was planted in the ground, massive vines spread in every direction, wrapping around the nearby wolves and draining them of their energy. One by one, the wolves shriveled into skeletons before being tossed aside like lifeless husks, their energy completely devoured. As this continued, the flower itself began to change, absorbing the power it consumed. The Wolf King, having barely avoided entanglement, watched its dying pack in a rage. With a deafening roar, it opened its mouth and unleashed a powerful energy blast straight toward Fang Yi. But before the attack could connect, enormous vines surged from the ground, forming a barrier that completely absorbed the blast. Fang Yi regarded it with a faint smile and said, "It's useless. Haven't you realized it yet? The spiritual flower's power of desolation has already taken deep root beneath this mountain forest. This endless sea of flowers draws strength from the mountain and returns it. Although you've gained some intelligence through evolution, I doubt you understand a simple saying. Wildfire cannot destroy it with the spring breeze. It grows again. Not bad. You've even managed to locate the flower's origin." By now, the flower had turned a crimson red. Fang Yi glanced at it and spoke gently, "Little flower, he's discovered you. What will you do now?" As if it understood his words, the flower unfurled its petals and lunged forward, swallowing the approaching Wolf King whole. The Wolf King howled and thrashed violently as the flower's vines coiled tighter, draining every ounce of its energy. Within moments, the mighty Wolf King was completely absorbed, leaving nothing but bones. Watching this, Fang Ye thought to himself, what an overbearing power of desolation. What kind of ability is this? I never expected that after I infused desolation energy into this spiritual flower, it would form its own cultivation method without any additional programming from me. Moments later, the flower spat out the Wolf King's bones, scattering them across the ground. Fang Yi spoke quietly, his eyes reflecting the red glow around him. Once trapped within this endless sea of flowers, no anomaly can ever escape. Even if the spiritual flowers are destroyed repeatedly, they will simply reform, using the infinite desolation energy to turn everything to bone. Let's call it the endless spiritual sea. By now, the flower had turned completely crimson, its form changing and radiating immense power. Then, a notification appeared before Fang Yi's eyes. Spiritual flower has successfully developed a desolation attribute technique, endless spiritual sea. Seeing the flower release such powerful energy, Fang Yi smiled slightly and said, "So, you've evolved.